Yes, loves, we are back live on the summer solstice for the Shining Light on Revolution virtual healing event all day. I'm so excited to bring forth our next leader in light, Sabi Kerr, who is an amazing self-love coach. I had the privilege of connecting with her through Candy Wheeler. And as soon as I met Sabi, I just felt her energy so powerfully. And I ended up joining one of her free workshops that she does on her, in her amazing community. And it really, really changed so much of my perception on self-love in such a positive way, really got me into another level of self-love. So I'm so excited to share her magic with all of you. Welcome, Sabi. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be a part of this incredible community that you're creating today.
Yeah, thank you so much. I know you're going to be hosting a self-love workshop for all of us. So I am going to go ahead and get out of the way and let you do your thing. And I'll come back to join you when you're finished. Have fun.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much, guys, for being here. As Rissa said, I'm Sabi. I'm a self-love coach, and I guide women to love themselves. I guide women to feel deeply worthy, inherently worthy, because that really is the space from which we call in the other things that we want, from which we call in, whatever it is, your dream job, your dream relationship, your dream home, the external things, but equally the ways that we really, really want to feel. For us to have all of those things that we desire, we first need to truly believe we are worthy of them. So I see our whole lives as a work of self-love. And I see how self-love really is the glue that links everything together. You are inherently worthy. You are worthy as you are. And we don't need to wait to have certain things to love ourselves. It works the other way. It works the way of, let me appreciate, accept, love myself as I am now. And actually, that will help me to attract the things in my life that I'm desiring. Maybe quicker, but more importantly, in a more sustainable, authentic way. And self-love, can mean lots of things to different people. We all have our own unique individual definitions. For me, it really is about acceptance of where I'm at, acceptance of where I'm at today, and knowing that whatever is coming up is okay for me. Acceptance of where I am and knowing that where I am right now is enough. I don't need to be fixed. There is always self-improvement, there is always room for growth, but that growth and that improvement is coming from a space of enoughness rather than a space of lack. And what's been really coming up for me that I want to share today is the idea of radical self-love, the idea of loving ourselves not just when things are going great in our lives, but loving ourselves even when things are not going so well, loving ourselves even when we're feeling really crappy, even when we're angry, even when we're frustrated. And why this, for me, feels like such an important part of self-love to be sharing today is because we're at a time where the world is being called to do deep, deep shadow work. The racist system, people are finally waking up to the racist system. And what comes with that awakening is a lot of discomfort. A lot of white people are, maybe for the first time, finally seeing these shadow parts within them that they didn't realize was there. That is really uncomfortable. That can bring up shame, guilt, confusion. And equally, if you're a person of color, you might have your own shadow emotions that are coming up right now because of what's going on in the world. And this is why I feel so called now, today, but also over the coming weeks, to dive into this idea of shadow work, to dive into this idea of embracing the parts of ourselves that feel uncomfortable, because these are the parts of ourselves that actually, when we lean into them, we can heal. When we lean into those parts, we can heal for ourselves, but we can heal for the world as well. I'm going to start actually by reading a post that I posted yesterday that a lot of people resonated with. I said, I invite you to break up with the surface level. Show me your full depth, your rawness, your humanness. Let's go deeper. Let me sit with you, unravel your mind. Let me feel your sadness, your grief, your anger, your pain, and welcome it like you do your joy, your passion, your excitement. All are parts of you. All are held. All are safe. All are worth loving. And if it gets too much, remind yourself, this is a gift. There are many out there who spend months, years, or lifetimes suppressing the depth of their rawer, more painful emotions, suppressing the depth of their human experience. And by allowing yourself to feel it all, you are inviting in your fullest, most colorful, most radiant human experience into this life. You only have one. Treat it like the gift that it is. I just feel like I need to take a breath after that. Feel free to take a breath with me. Deep breath in. Big breath out. And that resonated with a lot of people when I share that, and I'm so glad it did, because we so often feel like we need to present ourselves in this perfect way to the world. We so often feel like we need to present ourselves in a way that is appealing to others. We so often feel like we need to be positive vibes only. Positive vibes only is not self-love. Positive vibes only is also not going to help you do the anti-racism work that this world really, really needs right now. We need everybody to get real with themselves, with who they are right now, and with what is coming up for you that might be uncomfortable. So what we're going to do as we move through the next 20 minutes or so, this may resonate with some of you in the terms of any anti-racism work that you're doing, but it also may resonate with you with any other shadow work you're doing, any other painful emotions that are coming up at this time, to do with anything in your life that you might have pushed down. And by acknowledging those things, by acknowledging those parts of you that feel a little uncomfortable, by giving them some space to be felt, that is how we move to the other side. And for me, that is the real deal self-love, because it is easy to love yourself when you're feeling energized. It's easy to love yourself when you're feeling passionate and excited, when your work is going well, when your relationship's going great. Easy to love yourself. Can you deeply love yourself when you're angry? Can you deeply love yourself when you are on the floor crying your eyes out for hours on end because you've just broken up with the love of your life? Can you love yourself then? Can you love yourself when it feels like your world is falling apart? This is the real work of self-love. Loving yourself regardless of what's going on, being able to hold yourself in that space. So I'm going to invite you to look at any parts of yourself that you might have pushed away. I'm going to invite you to embrace your shadows, embrace any little bits that you might be ashamed of. Embrace any little bits that you sometimes forget to make yourself feel more comfortable. What happens if you love that part of you? What happens if you create space for those things to be felt? So we're going to do a mini exercise. I'd love you to make sure you have some kind of journal, paper and pen nearby, and also a couple of options. Either a mirror, like a hand mirror, or a full-length mirror if you have one near you. If you don't, grab your phone and turn it on to video so that you can see yourself, and use your phone as a mirror. If you're using your phone to watch YouTube right now and you don't have a mirror nearby, You'll do this exercise without looking into your eyes, but you can kind of look down and look at your physical body instead. So a couple of options. And I'm going to guide you through a mirror work practice to help you really see yourself, to help you really see yourself as you are now. Maybe some of these might be parts of you that you haven't really looked at, right? So we're doing it on a physical level to begin with. So really look at yourself, really look at the tiny little like wrinkles or freckles or parts of your physical body that you might not have actually truly looked at and noticed. And it might go a deeper level, it might go past the physical. See what comes up for you. So I'm going to give you guys like 30 seconds, a minute to get yourself ready, to get yourself comfortable. Obviously, I can't see where you're at, so I'm just going to assume that that's enough time for you to find your way into a space where you can either see yourself in a mirror or a phone, or if not, just sit comfortably and allow yourself to look at the rest of your body. So just take a moment to get yourself in that space. And from there, just start to have a look at yourself in the mirror, or again, your phone, or at your body. I'm gonna say the mirror, but again, if you don't have one, use whatever you have instead. Take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Close down your eyes, and with your eyes closed, just for a moment, bring up a picture of yourself in your mind. Again, we're just starting with a physical representation of you. And then when you're ready, open up your eyes so that you can see, really see you. But I'm going to ask you to look more closely, closer than you normally do. Start with your eyes. Notice the color. Notice the different textures, the shades, the patterns. And then from the eyes, let's move down the face, to the cheeks. Notice the texture of the skin, the nose, the lips. Notice the shapes, the colors, the textures. Notice any lines. And notice as you see these physical things, the thoughts that are connected. This is just a practice of observation. A practice of observing and looking more deeply at parts of yourself than you might usually do. Notice any resistance to really looking. And just for a moment, take one more look. And then close the eyes down. With that idea of looking more deeply, now let go of the physical representation of you and go inside. Tap in, feel the emotions, feelings that are present for you right now. And I'm going to ask you particularly to look at the ones that are feeling more uncomfortable, because they might be the ones that have been pushed away. Start by naming them. What is within you that you are struggling to look at? Take a moment. Say it out loud. I feel angry, I feel frustrated, I feel ashamed. So those are a few of them, the more shadow feelings. Maybe you're feeling something different. Even if it's mild, even if it's small. And then notice if there is a space in the body that those feelings are present. Don't worry if you can't feel anything, but if you can, just observe. Notice if those emotions exist as tension in the body. Tight chest, stiffer jaw, hands that are feeling tense, or anything else. So after acknowledging those feelings, notice if it exists as tension in the body. And then don't resist. Breathe there. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let the hands relax wherever they're comfortable, so maybe on the thighs. With each breath out, allow yourself to drop deeper into the space of that feeling. Feel the feeling. Notice where it exists in the body. No resistance. Just let each breath out help you to create some space for it to be. It's not going to be there forever, but we're just allowing it to be there for this moment. And just say in the back of your mind, it is safe for me to feel whatever that feeling is. It is safe for me to feel. I love the part of me that feels. Finish it with the word. It is safe for me to feel. And I love the part of me that feels. Breathe there. Take a few more breaths as you are. It is safe for me to feel. I love the part of me that feels. Take one more breath in and one more breath out. And whenever you're ready, let those eyes just gently open up. And just take a moment to bring yourself back into your space. If you do have pen and paper nearby, just write that out, those sentences, those affirmations that I shared. It is safe for me to feel. And I love the part of me that feels, whatever that feeling is. It is safe for me to feel angry. I love the part of me that feels angry. And also take a moment, a minute or so, to write down any of the things that you observed as you were looking at yourself in the mirror. Write down any of the things that you saw that maybe sometimes you miss, maybe sometimes you skip over. And I'll give you some homework for you to do in between any of the sessions today. I would love you to write a self-love letter, a letter to yourself of love, all of the things that we so deeply desire to hear from other people. What are those things? And how can you say them to yourself? As you looked into the mirror, as you really saw yourself, what would you most like someone else to say to you? Your lover, your partner that was looking at you in the eyes, what would you most like him or her to say to you? And then how can you say that for yourself? How can you say that to yourself, rather? So that's some homework for you for today, when you're feeling like you want to do something in between the sessions. So thinking about what we just did, this idea of making space, of creating space for ourselves to feel. This is so important always. This is so important now. And this is important now for everybody in the world, with what's going on. This is important for Black people and people of color. Our voices have been suppressed for so long, for centuries. And we are allowed to be angry. We are allowed to be frustrated. We are allowed to be every single emotion under the sun. That is something that is powerful for us to be able to feel. And for so long, those emotions have been almost taken away from us. The topic of race, when maybe before we speak about race and it has been pushed down by white people that feel uncomfortable talking about race, that has taken away our ability to express our truth, to express our voice, to express our emotions, which is dehumanizing, because the art of being human, the essence of being human, is about all of our emotions, letting all parts of ourselves be seen. So this idea of tapping into our emotions and allowing everything to be felt is a deep part of self-love, which people of color, we need to be able to sit in this space right now. That is really powerful for us, but it's also powerful for white people that are really committed to doing this anti-racism work. It's really powerful for you too, because you are also going to have emotions that come up that might feel uncomfortable. You are also going to have things come up which might stop you from doing the work. And rather than letting those things stop you from doing the work, you can say, I'm here for this. I'm here for this and I'm committed to this work, so I'm going to sit in these uncomfortable spaces. Anti-racism work is a work of love. It is the greatest act of love we can do for the planet. For anybody that says, talking about racism all the time is negative. It's the most positive thing that we can be talking about, especially as a spiritual community. For me, this is the greatest work of self-love, really, because as we heal ourselves and as we learn to love ourselves, regardless of where we're at right now, we're in a better place to then support others, to heal others, to love others. As we become more comfortable in our own discomfort, we get to do the work that is uncomfortable, that the world really, really needs. So I encourage you to see this time that we're in as a powerful time for your own healing, wherever you're at, to know that anti-racism work is an act of love, because we're not well, you're not well until everybody is well. And we need everybody to enter this conversation. So I would love to finish up with one more short meditation, just a short one, to help ground ourselves in this space of self-love. First for ourselves, and then to offer up that love outwards. So Another time, closing down the eyes, getting yourself comfortable. You don't need anything this time. You don't need a mirror. You don't need your journal. You don't need a pen. So just closing down the eyes whenever you're ready. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And just first observe. Observe the physical body. Observe the feeling of the hips against the chair or the ground, wherever you're sitting. Observe the sensations that are present in the body right now. Notice if there's any resistance or tension that exists in the physical body. Notice where that tension is. And release the need to push it away. See even this as an act of self-love. No need to push it away. Just observe it. Just be conscious that it's there inside of you. Being conscious of that resistance rather than pushing it away is self-love. Finding acceptance where you're at. Notice your breath too. Each breath in, each breath out. The rising and the falling of the chest. Allow each exhale to settle you further into the space that you're in. And just repeat the following affirmations in the back of your mind. I accept and honor each part of me. I create space for each part of me to be felt. I give myself full permission to feel. When I feel, I heal. When I feel, I heal. And when I heal, the world heals. Take one hand onto the heart and the other hand on top of that hand. Breathe there. And just visualize love pouring from the hands right into your heart and then back again from the heart into your hands. You can maybe visualize it as a bright white light, self-love light. And just see, feel, picture that light traveling from the hands, down the arms, the shoulders, down the chest, down to the legs. And visualize that light, that self-love light, swirling around the body, filling you up with your own self-love. And then, from there, when you're feeling really full up, when your cup is feeling full of love, of your love, just let the hands release onto the thighs, palms up, and offer that love out to the world. When you are full up with your love, you have more love to give to everybody else. Palms up, offering it out to the world, to somebody else that really needs your love. Take a few final breaths here. I am loved. I am enough, just as I am, right this moment. Take one more breath in. One more deep breath out. Whenever ready, just gently let those eyes open and wake up. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for that mini dive into self-love. Hey, Rissa.
Hey, oh man, I was like streaming tears of joy with that practice. All those practices, actually, I had to like clean myself up. Thank you so much, Sabi. That was amazing.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. It's such a joy to share. Because anti-racism work is a work of love, you know. It's a work of love. So I heard your roundtable discussion, and it's like, for any of the people that are spiritually bypassing in the name of love and light, this is the love and this is the light. And I just want as many people to realize that as possible.
Oh, it's so true. And thank you for shining light on that part, because I think it's so easy for people to ignore the ways in which we are loving through this revolution, through bringing this awareness, through making sure that the marginalized groups in society are heard and amplified and are treated as equal. So thank you so much. And for all of you watching, if you would like to connect with Sabi a little bit further, make sure to click the link in description below. You can feel into her tribe. She's got lots and lots to offer for you all. And she's coming from all the way from London. So really, really great energy to have in this series. So thank you so much to really allow us to know that the whole world is joining with us in everything going on in the States, and that the whole world is also feeling this stuff, you know, everywhere. We're all being affected by it. So thank you again, Sabi.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and for all of you watching, we will be live in just a few minutes for the brand new live weekly reading, where I'll be covering all of the spirit messages and astrology messages of the summer solstice, new moon in Cancer, and this week coming up. And I will have special guest, the Akashic healer Mona, with me in just a little bit. So stay tuned. We will be back shortly.